what happened? Everything just stopped. So if you're catching this one as your first part and you're watching not live, you might want to go back and look at the first half of the one that was previous. For some reason, all of a sudden, it just stopped. So I'm very sorry about that. So I'm going to let everyone flood on back in. What I was talking about was we have the launch of Knix coming up, which is from Outlaw Yarn, the incredible Outlaw Yarn in Christchurch. And Deb has had Knix on hiatus for a few years now, and she is looking to spice things up back into everybody's winter and give you something really luxurious and gorgeous and fabulous for the winter. And she's relaunching Knix just as a limited edition, just as a single batch on Saturday. So it's very, very exciting. As I mentioned in the first part, I'm sworn to secrecy. I cannot show you anything. You need to tune into Breakfast Bourbon at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning with Outlaw HQ to see what's going on. But you will be able to get it from us from the afternoon. And then you need to jump over and come and visit us here on the Diaries on Monday with Ethan. And we will be going through everything Knix. Yeah, exactly, a list of technology. I have no idea what happened. I was looking at the book, looked up, and then it said, do you want to rate your experience? Which tells me it's finished. And I went, no, I'd like to keep talking. So I don't know what went on there. There was a glitch in the matrix, but we're back now. So it's all good. So hopefully you guys come back. So I talked about, just in the first part, for those that have just joined now, just in the first part, I talked about some designs that we could look at with Knix. In terms of garment designs, Ethan has knitted Cartography from Tin Can Knits, which is a all-over colourwork piece. I actually think things like the Jennifer Steingass and such are a really good option in the DKs when you've got something with a bit of contrast between. I know, Annette, I know it's crazy I'm back. I don't know what happened. Between the two colours. That's a really good idea. And also, too, as Margaret brought up, it is $35 for a 100 gram ball. So this is an investment. This isn't, as I mentioned before, that's why I'm talking about the planning now. Knix isn't the sort of yarn that you think, oh, I'm going to get half a dozen balls, throw it into stash and think about it later. It is actually the sort of yarn that you do need to do a little bit of planning for, and actually think about what you're wanting to do, because you want to make sure you have a very clear picture in your head. That's what I believe anyway. And so I've just talked about some hats. If you're wanting hats and accessories, Alana Dacos, I think, is a great person to actually jump and have a look at. She's got a number of designs which use these beautiful botanical themes, cabling, reverse cabling, twisted stitches, that all work beautifully with Knix and the reflective nature and the glow of the yarn. So you want to find a design that will accentuate all the properties that the yarn has. So the properties is this beautiful glow, this lovely flow. Look at what the silk will bring, the reflective nature for the silk, and the fact that it is a four-folded yarn with a little bit of, beautiful smooth twisted yarn, so you can get excellent stitch definitions. Oh, look at that. Kathy Blesser has put bundle ideas for Knix ideas. Oh, that's good. I'm not going to dive into that today, Kathy, because I'll leave that for Ethan and I to talk about on Monday. But I've just jumped in and have a look at my collection. Annette is asking, do I have any crochet garment books? The short answer to that, Annette, actually is no. I've got a few crochet books, but most of them are around baby stuff, or things like accessories and toys and stuff like that. If you can pop in the comments, if you can suggest a good one, I'm always on the hunt, actually. So I talked about before Botanical Knits. So she's got two books out, Botanical Knits and Botanical Knits 2. These are all available on Ravelry. Alana Dacos, couldn't recommend them. I love her stuff. I've knitted several of her accessories. I love, and they're really wearable. They're real favourites of mine. And the other one is Strong Brew, which of course is the team at Tin Can Knits. And this is great colour work. Perfect. But where I'm heading to now, and I mean, many of you will not be surprised that I'm going there, is I'm going to the fabulous Nora Gaughan. Nora does have beautiful designs, and there is a simplicity with a lot of her designs, but it's deceptive. And we're going to jump in and have a look at some of the Revelry ones. I grabbed this one because this is the sort of design. Can we get it without the book? There we go. And this one here is called the cabled spiral pullover. There we go. And these are the sorts of things that would work really well. So you've got this beautiful helical spiral cable at the top, and then sort of there's a simplicity there, and knits with that would look amazing, absolutely amazing. And in here there are a number of designs that all sort of work across a theme in sort of DK weight yarns. There's another one that would look exceptionally good in knits, because that little simple eyelet lace work would just sit and pop. That one is called the Philo yoked pullover, and I didn't even see whether or not it used a and it uses 4.5mm needles, which you could get away with knits. Beautiful. But let's have a jump in and have a look at the Rav, because I have pulled up the Rav. So sorry about this, because of course I've had to jump back in, and it lost it. There we go. Alrighty, so I had a little look. So I jumped over into Rav. So this is Nora's design page here, and I've gone and broken it down into DK yarns. And one of the things that I wanted to sort of bring up here is that one of the things that Nora does do is she explores texture, she explores color, she explores cables, and she expresses, I think, stitch movement better than any other designer out there. And this is probably an excellent example of that. This is Geiger, which she did for the Brooklyn Tweed collection. In fact, I think this Brooklyn Tweed collection, Winter 2018, is the same that had the chain link tunic in it that I know Ethan has knitted, and it looks incredible. But Geiger, as you can see, this in Nix would be amazing, because as you've got these traveling cables and stitches on a background of reverse stocking stitch, which I mentioned earlier in the first part, using the not the ivy trellis hat, the pressed leaves hat. And you create, in a way, a negative space in knitting, and that's something that Nora does so incredibly well. She has the ability to be able to create negative space in almost 3 dimensions in a fabric, and this Geiger cardigan expresses that perfectly. And this would look amazing in Nix. It would be an investment piece for sure. And what she's gone and done, part of the way she achieves that is she actually firms the gauge up a little bit. So she's using a DK yarn. She's firming that gauge up by using a 3.75mm needle. And by doing that, you have these cables and ribs and stitches that just pop. They completely pop and create that 3rd dimension. And it really, if you're going to be spending A, the money, B, the time to put the effort into something that is just going to look incredible for decades, this is the sort of thing you want to consider. And with that slightly firmer gauge, as she has here, it will make a massive difference. So that is Geiger. It is certainly something that's wonderful. And as you can see, this one's already in my library. This is the Shifting Sands pullover. I've mentioned this one before. I adore it. I've bought it. I want to knit it. I know that this in Nix will be incredible. It's, again, the movement of the cables. I mean, you can see the movement there, but you can also get that crispness with the crispness that you'll get with Nix. And the other thing I like about this is the shine from the silk will have this really beautiful reflective quality. And when you've got stitches moving in both directions, depending on how you're standing and the angle that you're standing on, the design with this will actually move, shimmer, and change. And I think the effect with that using NYX will really be something quite special. Susu has been one that I've been asked about before. Whether or not this would work with NYX. This one will also work incredibly well, I also believe, with Flight Naturals. But I think if you're looking for a design with NYX, this one is great. You've got this lovely broken moss here, these beautiful little twisted eyelet lace panel, plus, of course, this fantastic traveling cable and twisted slits through the center. So it's very, very pretty. Very feminine shapes, and also too the way the styling is with this, not quite as ferociously yarn hungry as something like Geiger. Yeah, so you're looking at this 1200 to 1600 meters across the sizings, so that is a little bit more affordable than I think it was up to. Let's have a look. This one was up to 2,500 meters, so that is certainly a consideration. See, we've got someone's here that I haven't even seen before, so let's have a quick look at this one. There we go. See, this is some colour work. Again, if you're wanting to go colour work in NYX, that would work incredibly well. Beautiful, looks like a mosaic stitch colour work. I know that I can tell you, yes, there will be contrast for you to be able to do this. There are two colours that leap out specifically that are coming to NYX that would look absolutely shit hot in this, and I'll actually talk to Ethan about that, I think, on Monday, so get his take on that. And then their accessories Nora does do the accessories. Actually, this one here is a great one to look at. How's this for a hat? Actually, see, this is a really good example. So this is showing, again, a smoother yarn, this beautiful blackberry stitch here, lovely wee twisted rib. That would look stunning in NYX. Absolutely stunning. That's Huck. And let's have a look at the meterage. 197 meters. Boom. One ball. We love it. Single ball project. Huck. In fact, I think that's a good sample for the shop. Look, I could go on all day here. Absolutely go on all day. They are just, there's so many. Absolutely. All of them have, each one of these have a theme. Here we go. Here's shoji, which I'm actually knitting at the moment. This shoji, actually, I'm doing this in Cozy and Whisper Light. So I'm doing this, so it's got a beautiful soft halo. But this in NYX, oh my gosh, will be to die for, particularly with this textured stitch here. Now, this is a very much what I call a rinse and repeat style project. It is lots of very sort of rhythmic, lots of the same stitching again and again. In fact, I want to get my husband's sweater out of the way, and then I'm going to be picking this one back up again. I'm about more than 50% through it. So it is certainly a design that will show, the yarn will interpret into this classic clean design so beautifully. You will have a crisp cocoon cardigan that will wear and look amazing for a huge period of time. This certainly will be something well worth to consider. I've seen this project knitted in Albertine, and again, Albertine is spun to the same count as NYX. It has the same smooth texture as NYX, but it doesn't have that shine. And that textured stitching through this panel here with NYX will just take it to that next level. And I certainly would recommend Shoji 100%, 100% for NYX. So I won't go through all of those because there are just so many. Now, I did see a question. There was, oh, thank you, Kathy. Kathy's been madly popping all those in there. Have we got my sound now, everybody? They're now saying lost sound. Hello. Oh, no, there's sound there. Okay, back now. Oh, good. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't. Now, I did see, there we go, Moko, the Shan. Let's have a look at that. Didn't like that. Let's put it all in one word and see what it does. Didn't like that. Oh, didn't like that either. Oh, okay, so let's get rid of that. There it is. Oh, Oh, I have not seen this one. So Shana suggested this. This is from Olga Barayan Khalifian. We all know that I love her. She has the Aranami shawl that I'm very fond of. So she's used a 10 ply in this in 4.5. So you actually, the short answer to that, actually, yes, you could get away with this because it is a cowl. So that would definitely work. And she is saying, so she's obviously used, that looks like a Noro there that she's used. But what is this green? This is the one that yes, definitely, Shan. I think that in knits would actually be loads of fun. And again, see how the stitches are waving and traveling? With the reflection of the silk, you'll get a really nice interplay of the light on that. So yeah, I would totally recommend that. I'd also say this here as well would look fantastic if you had a wanting to do some double strand and have a little bit of fluff, playing around with Whisper Light and a Whisper Fine rather, and a 4-ply yarn would be loads of fun with this too. So yeah, I would certainly have a little play around with that. My big outtake with all of this when it comes to knits is a little bit of planning is key. I know I say this all the time, but I really do mean it. I think at $35 a ball, you do want to make sure that you have the ability to, you know exactly where you're going to go. So if you're wanting to go a single design, then definitely be looking at things like a hat. Most hats, even if they've got a good amount of texture stitching or cabling there, will take around 200 up to 200 meters, which is what you're getting in a ball of knits. Perfect if you're wanting to have something special, but also wanting to be able to knit with this beautiful yarn and have it be something that you will love and wear and make it completely worthwhile. Brilliant. The cowl is the same. The Ever After cowl, I mentioned that in the first tranche. It's one of my designs. It's free. It's got a simple feather and fan. It will play beautifully with that. Then I haven't even mentioned shawls. So with shawls, you will definitely, I mean, there's a variety of shawls from everything from sort of 2 to 3 balls. It really comes down to you, but it's, again, look for something that has some nice crispness to it. Something like actually even the new a harsh of the Himalayan shawl, actually, even that Charles Gandy has just done, would be really, really great. Bronwyn Carroll, actually, I think you'll hear, I hope you were able to make it back for the second tranche, Bronwyn. I know Bronwyn, her encore shawl would look amazing in knits because she's got some really beautiful designs, because you want something where you have a design that is very, very classical. So it allows the yarn to actually stand out on its own. So it's like an intermarriage between the contemporary and classic nature of the design and the beauty of the yarn. So do check out some of Bronwyn's patterns, and she's on Good to Go Knits. It's Good to Go Knits, isn't it? I always just look you up, Bronwyn. I'm dreadful, aren't I? Do have a look at some of hers, because particularly if you're looking for shawls, that is also another great place to start. So there is, yes, do have a little hunt. Patricia's asking, when will we have knits available online? Outlaw is launching at Breakfast Bourbon 11 a.m. on Saturday morning. Ethan has popped some bundles up on Ravelry, so they're definitely worth having a look at those as some of his suggestions. And I've got Ethan here on Monday, and we're going to talk about some of the suggestions that he has for different designs. I will pop it live essentially once they've all finished Breakfast Bourbon. It's all there ready to go. I just need to go in and click and press buttons to make it live. So I'm hoping to do that. As long as I don't get too sidetracked on Saturday, it'll probably be early Saturday, some stage Saturday afternoon. So yes. 10 a.m. is a Breakfast Bourbon. Oh gosh, I'm dreadful. Of course thanks, Sue. Of course it's 10 a.m. because when we did Quarantine Diaries, we did 10 a.m. on Breakfast Bourbon and then 11 a.m. for me. And Ethan was always jealous because he had to get up early to do Breakfast Bourbon when he'd much rather be at 11. But yeah, sweet. Yes, 10 a.m. So yes, and mine will be most likely in the early afternoon when I flick it over. So yes, I know you guys are going to love it. I photographed them yesterday, and so you've got Marie photos, I'm afraid, but they are looking pretty good, and it's divine, utterly divine. Yvonne, do you think it's a little extravagant to make husband a scarf and hat out of Nick's? I'd show you. You'd love him. If he lost it, I'd divorce him. No, I don't think it's too extravagant at all, actually. And there's 2 colours in there specifically that I think, actually 3 colours. Oh, actually 4 colours in there that would look amazing. So amazing for a hat and scarf for a husband. Actually 5 colours. No, there's at least 5. There's 9 total. 9 total, I can tell you that. I'm allowed to tell you that. There's 9. Yes, no, amazing. And actually, Yvonne, you want to keep it simple, stupid. I would do, if you're going to do a scarf, I would do just a straight broken rib scarf. So when I say broken rib scarf, you know, I'm talking 2x2 rib, and then you offset it by a stitch on the other side. So it's not a 2x2 rib, it's a broken 2x2. It's a fully reversible stitch. It would look so good with the reflection in this yarn. It would look amazing. And then you can just do you can just do a simple ribbed beanie, and you can actually just do a basic beanie with that. And I just think it would look amazing. Yeah, even Deb says she can't decide on her favorite color. Yeah, it's funny. There was one color in that range that I know that has been a favorite of hers, but not in that. It's not been in this range before. And when I saw it for the first time, translated over on this fiber, I mean, I loved it so much first time around when it appeared in a different range, and now that it's in this range, I love it even more. And I know Deb, and I know that she'll be looking at that going, woof. I just adore it. In fact, it's probably the one I'm going to stash. And there is there's another color in there that when I photographed it, it was like, I just loved it. I so loved it. And I've got a funny feeling that actually might have been an Ethan influence one. I'll ask him on Monday. I'm almost certain of it, knowing the colour. But they're beautiful. And I just having them all here together yesterday, photographing them. As I said, there is contrasts between light and dark. I will let you know that. So if you are looking for a colour work project, you should be able to do that. And 2 to 3 colours. I wouldn't go 3 colours max. But yes, you have got light to dark contrasts for colour work if you choose to do colour work as well. Get the research out. And yeah, Pauline, honestly, Geiger, I just think Geiger and Nick's with that slightly firmer tension. I'm going to talk to actually Ethan about Geiger again on Monday, I think. And that almost 3-dimensional effect, I just think will be show-stopping. I really do. So there you go. I'm giving you homework. Don't you love me? Giving you homework. So go and do your homework, go and do some research, and let me know what you think. And I will be back, as I said, with Ethan on Monday, and we will do sort of a roundup of the of Nick's, and we'll see where we're tracking. Oh, speaking of tracking, we are starting to, we've had the girls, we've only got 3 down in the warehouse at the moment because of the COVID. So we are sort of a little bit short-staffed, but they put in a huge effort last week, and they managed to, now frozen picture, good grief. They managed to get, they're now up to end of Tuesday. So we're now packing into Wednesday. So that is great news. End of Tuesday into Wednesday. So thank you for your patience, and hopefully everything will be back to normal by next week, which will be great news. But until then, I'll see you on Monday with Ethan, and have a great weekend, and stay dry if it's wet where you are. Until then, see ya. Bye.